Okay, I got a frickin' milling machine. A lot of work ahead of me. One very helpful bit of information I have is how to install and operate precision vertical milling machine. And that came from a vintage machine. But the problem is well, it didn't scan terribly well. The screen, the monitor I'm looking at it is doing weird stuff when I move. Everything's shaking. Okay. It kicked my butt. Despite having that trailer, which made things very easy. I mean, load out was no problem. They forklifted on there, I drove it home. Dragging it off the trailer kind of kicked my butt, despite the fact that, all I was really doing was either cranking a handle or pulling a chain. But I'm not the young man I used to be. I'm going to flip the camera around and show a little bit of hardware that came with the machine. Pretty much all I got. I got a set of bolts for hold downs. And you can see here's the ZZ collet. This is a 1/4 inch one. Sutton. Supposedly these are very fragile, and in the metal drawer that I got with the machine that this stuff was in, there's several of these in there that are cracked in half from people dropping them. So let me go ahead and bring you in the other room and show you what little progress I've made since yesterday. It's been in my garage now for, it's been on the concrete for probably 6 or 7 hours. And I just got it to where I could shut the door, and I stopped for the day. So I've moved it a few feet. Well, we'll go and look at it. Okay, it's day 2. I've had the mill on the cement in here for about 7 hours. I've got it moved forward. I need to move it about, I want to get the head underneath those two white plugs there. And that's kind of between that light and that light. I've got a much smarter method of managing the chain, and so that's working well. Looks like I only have a couple of feet to go. My big concern is this taper. Let's go over here. Okay, so there's a set screw here and another set screw here, and there are 2 grooves in the 30 taper milled into them up towards the fat end of it, and that prevents this. It's in lieu of a drawbar that prevents this thing from undoing with sideways motion. I don't know why this 30 taper isn't releasing. I really do not want to put wedges in here and drive it down without knowing what I'm doing, because I don't want to screw anything up, obviously. I figured out the nod. There's a cap head screw right here. Okay, remember where that is, right above this plate. So there's 4 screws in the face of this. 1, 2, other side 3 and 4. Loosen those. T-handle Allen wrench here controls the nod. Okay. So, number 1 question, how do I release that taper? Number 2, where am I at here? What is number 2? What is the other issue? Let me get this light turned away. Oh, underneath here. Okay. Okay, this right here, I'm going to pull the light away because I can't do both at the same time. There's a screw here, there's a hole here, a through hole, and a through hole here. So it looks like you loosen this up, turn this until you engage in one of those holes. So I guess I should just start looking at the drawings and find that. Craig Tate advised me so we know this is a 110 outlet. We call 110 in the US, 110, 120. So there's no transformer in here, this peckerhead. There's no transformer in there reducing, so I'm thinking they must have just used one of the 3 legs as the hot, and then a neutral. And so that gives you the 1 leg of 120. So then we come up here, go over here to the motor switch for the gearbox and the power feed. So I need to make sure that the hot wire going to this box and the hot wire going to this are either 120 or 240. In other words, I do not want the artificial leg going to either of these units, either this plug or this motor. So we'll determine that first, and then we'll determine the spindle direction. And I'm assuming the spindle direction is clockwise. 2 screws here for the ram. The special wrench that'll go here to forward the ram on this gear. Been putting a little, what am I using? Gunk engine degreaser down here on the gearbox for the power feed. We'll get the outside of that all cleaned up. I want to get rid of all the grease. This machine requires both lubrication, oiling, and greasing. So some areas are going to take grease, some areas are going to take oil. So I think the plan is number 1, get the electric straightened out, and then start cleaning the machine. Now, really the way to clean this properly would be to disassemble it and clean each component and put it back together. I'm not quite ready to do that. I want to do some milling on it first and investigate the problems it might have, and then figure out what the solution is going to be. So let me show you my pulley system here. This finally got this perfected. I was very frustrating yesterday. With chain management, we'll call it. So let's go ahead and push this hopefully see if I can get a picture there. Yeah. Okay. Daryl Smith just produced a video. Here, let me loosen that up a little bit. I'm going to need to reposition. Daryl Smith just did a video pulling a lathe off the trailer and using an electric winch, and that's the way to go. Because yanking on that chain beats an old guy like me up. I'm not used to. Well, I just got to get in shape. I'm not used to getting winded by that activity right there. Okay, this is the second go around for this segment because the first time the files were corrupted or something. I do want to kind of change this, fix this up a little bit. This has some travel in it. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything, but I want it to be, I want this post to be plumb. It looks like part of this plate's going to have to come off to give me clearance to pull that up. I never noticed that back there. What is that? Huh, just this block here with the shaft. I guess it just holds the pulley. There's two belts there. So what's the other belt turning? That's turning that wheel, and then that's turning the gearbox. Oh, that's all just the, that's just the table feed. Not quite sure what this is yet. Need to get in the book, look at the pictures. This is my direction. Alright, I uncovered a new tag. Spindle lock, do not engage when running. This is lubrication information. Okay. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any information to fill in any of the gaps that I pointed out that I have concerns about, pass it on. Probably mainly concerning the removing that 30 taper. I know when you're, when you got a tie rod on a car, you got that taper. You take the castle nut off, and it doesn't just come out. I mean, sometimes you have to hit the body of the taper joint to break it loose. So I don't know if that's the case with these 30 tapers or not. But yeah, that's the biggest curiosity I have right now. So thanks for all the great comments. I appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe. Tell a buddy. Bring a friend. Tell them we got a South Bend milling machine over here.